It is January 12th, 2020. Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Rebecca, and I have decided to start, if you will, a video journal of my journey of this thing called recovery. I guess I should start out by saying I am a recovering heroin addict. The basis for this journal is for myself. I do write in a journal, but sometimes my thoughts are a little bit quicker than what I can write. So I thought, you know what? It might be kind of cool to record some of the stuff and, kind of see the progress. And sometimes I feel it helps to kind of get these like crazy thoughts out of my head. If anybody's been there, our minds can play, tricks on us. And I can put myself in a whirlwind of shit, if you will, leaving my thoughts to their own. So, I thought that this would kind of be cool to, express myself in a healthy way. Because I'm so used to keeping my thoughts and feelings to myself and letting them manifest, and then, all hell breaks loose, and I get a case of the fuck it's, and I break out in bars and dope houses doing stupid shit, and I just don't want to do that anymore. So I figured, let's give this a go and see what happens. So sometimes I can be all over the place, so you guys might have to bear with me if anybody decides to watch this, and if not, that's okay too. This isn't for really anybody else except for me. I got 90 days today, 3 months. That is so exciting for me. Anyways, I've spent such a big portion of my life in active addiction, and really never had, a substantial amount of clean time. I'm 36 years old. I'll be 37 in a couple months, and I feel like my life is just starting. And that can be the thought of that is kind of overwhelming. I feel like I should be in like a much different place in my life than where I'm at. I don't have any kids, never married, never bought a house. Drugs took over my life a long time ago. Not to say that I haven't, done some pretty good things, professionally. I've come pretty far, even in my active addiction. But I knew that really I wasn't going to get any further in life if I kept doing the same things. So with that said, we'll kind of just start. One of my favorite movies is Interview with the Vampire, and as Brad Pitt famously said, where do you want me to begin? I was born, I grew up, and then I was born into darkness. He was born into the vampire darkness. I was born into the darkness of addiction, and stayed there for like such a long time. Wow. Looking back on it, it's like, hindsight's always 2020. But yeah, and just like everybody else, I was born and I grew up, had a great family. The family had its issues throughout the years, but for the most part, is really some great people that I was very blessed to grow up around. My mom in particular. I can get into that, a little bit later, but um, you know, then, as I was saying, born into like the darkness of addiction, like all the glitz and glamour, and everybody was doing this, and, the cool kids. And to me, I always felt awkward and like an outsider, and like I just didn't fit in. Um, so that kind of had a it enticed me, if you will. It attracted me um, to it. It was something different, and um, and it made me feel better. It made me feel like I could fit in and be a different person. I could escape, who I was, because I was so uncomfortable in my own skin, and not really knowing any better. And God, that was like when I was 13 years old, and God, like 23 years later, here I am. So, and I can get into all that stuff later too. Um, these last 3 months, I went to, lost everything. Let's just start there. For like the third time over. It's like, how many times can somebody like hit their heads against a brick wall and, still not knock any sense to them? But, they say you have to really want to get better. You can't do it for anybody else but yourself. And that is very true. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And, I had to make a decision for myself and in my life that, I was at a crossroads, a fork in the road. I could continue going left with my two left feet, or I could finally have a right foot and a left foot and go in a direction that was positive and, you know, lead me to opportunities in a future that I know that, I deserve. And, but that takes work. And sometimes I don't want to fucking do it. And some days fucking suck. And some days I want to run. And, but I get up and I try and I put one foot in front of the other. And, I'm very early on in my recovery. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this journal too, again, to see like my progress as I go through these ups and downs and these feelings and the good, the bad, and the ugly, and truly, give myself some hope and maybe some hope to some other people that, through the darkness there is light, and there is hope. We're not morally deficient or, hopelessly bad and unfixable. For me, once I accepted the fact that, I am an addict, help becomes available. You open your mind and your heart, and you'd be surprised that with or the people that are there willing to help you. And I've been very blessed to have that, and I'm so grateful to the people that I have in my life, my family, my network of people in my life that are not using drugs, and who have found a new way of life. And I truly do believe in recovery, and I believe that every passing moment is a chance to turn your life around and make it better. But you also have to ask yourself, what am I doing to make my life better? And if you can't answer that question, then you need to really start digging, because the only person who can turn things around in your life is you. But I do promise you that if you want help, there is help out there. I am proof of that, because I've had some really great people help me I went to treatment, 28-day program, after like a 3 to 5 day stint in the hospital for detox. And then the last 2 months, I make meetings. I surround myself with people who are trying to better themselves. I try to surround myself by winners, try to do some things differently. Um, got a sponsor. Um, but with all of that said, I falter some days, and, I have to get out of my own way and, put my pride aside and my ego because I have a big one. And sometimes I think I'm right and that everybody's full of shit. And then I shut down and I look at things negatively and then I'm closed off and then I don't get the positive out of it. And just trying to keep an open mind and an open heart, and let in some good information, if you will. Um, so, with all of that said, it's just I'd say like the past like couple weeks have been like the hardest, because I've gone through a couple things like relationship things, and kind of not knowing how to deal with that. And do I even know how to be in a relationship? Uh, who knows? I don't even know how to live life. And I want to learn. Um, and maybe by me learning these things, I can build a future and a better life for myself and become a better person, a better friend, a better sister, a better partner to, somebody that deserves that, and learn how to love myself. And that's going to take time, but I'm okay with that, because I really want to give myself a chance. I know what the possibilities are, and what my future could be, if I just get my shit together and do the right things for the right reasons and, be a good person and, show up, and more than just show up, but show up and be ready to, put in some action because talk is cheap and I can talk just like the best of them, but I don't want to front anymore. I want to, live the best life that I can live. And for me, and I think that so many things, good things can happen from that. Um, so yeah, so this is definitely going to be a journey. So we'll see. And also I wanted to do this because I get so nervous talking, and I again like keep so many things to myself, and I just want to be an open book. I don't want to. I've been so ashamed of who I was. Being a drug addict and hidden for such a long time that I just don't want to live my life like that anymore. People, even if anybody sees this video, people that know me may be like, what the fuck, dude? I never knew that and never talk to me again. And people might be like, hooray, and support me 100%. I can't control how anybody is going to react or what they're going to do or what they're going to say. All I can control is myself and my reactions to things and my actions, period. And I, just really kind of am excited to see like where this ends up.